Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the chocolate room. Hold your breath. Make a wish. Count to 3. Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want, do it. Want to change the world? There's nothing to it.
So we went through a few phases in there. It started out as Gene Wilder, and then it went to Billy Crystal, and then it went to Seth MacFarlane, and then it ended with Buffalo Bill from The Silence of the Lambs.
Oh man, yeah, that's the full spectrum right there.
Pretty good if you ask me.
That's exactly what just happened.
It puts the lotion on the skin.
Oh, all right. Well, welcome back to yet another episode of Bump That. This is episode 33. Welcome back. If you've never listened before, hello. This is your host, Ileana. We've got Brian in the corner.
Hi-yo.
KT in the corner.
Hi-ho.
And we are siblings who have a love for nerding out and decided to share it all with you people. And here you are listening. So, enjoy. How is everybody doing?
I guess we like each other, too.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, not 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, maybe not.
Dang.
Ooh, all right.
All right.
We're gonna
Katie came in late. Ileana was like, "What the heck?" And I was just like, "Guys, come on, that's not fair."
I wasn't mad.
You know what? That's so like Brian, like like the innocent one. Guys, don't fight. Why are you fighting? Why can't we just get along? You're the one instigating it.
And you see,
This is the world of pure imagination,
I wasn't
bro.
even mad. I was just like, yo, we were all excited and hyped up. Get out of your feelings. Let's get hyped up. Get excited.
Gee, why are you
Is this making it worse?
Whoa.
All right, let's do the news.
Maybe I'm in my feelings. All right, maybe it's me.
just
It's
do the
just
news.
me. Honestly, I'll take it. I'll take the heat. Anyways, let's hit the.
I'm gonna burn the building down.
Let's hit the news, everybody.
Oh my god.
Disney's scandalous response to Scarlett Johansson.
All right, so if you've been listening to Bump That and you're not subscribed, first you need to subscribe. But
Please
if you've
hit
been
that
listening to Bump That for the past few weeks, then we've been following this Scarlett Johansson scandal where she sued Disney for messing with her contract over this straight to streaming versus to the theaters with her latest film, Black Widow. Well, here is what Disney had to say, and this is a quote, that her lawsuit against Disney has, quote, no merit whatsoever, and that Disney has, quote, fully complied with her contract. That is not quite true. Not quite true.
Ooh.
So a lot of people, a lot of news outlets have been calling out Disney for their hypocrisy, not only with the way that they've been dealing with Scarlett Johansson, but with female actors as a whole in their financial inequality, in which, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, I'll agree that this is a little distasteful from Disney's Disney's part, to say that it has no merit whatsoever.
Yeah,
Those
what
are
the
some
heck,
strong words.
Disney?
Those are some strong words. Obviously, it does hold merit if it's gotten to this point. And on top of that, there are other people jumping on her ship, such as
ScarJo needs to get paid, man.
Yeah, she's a hot thing. So Emily Blunt is also jumping on that train. Allegedly, it's not been confirmed, but she was in Jungle Cruise, and that is also coming to Disney Plus. So, that's revenue lost from her as well. So you have these other folks that are on board the Scojo train, if I could say that. So, yeah, Disney, what are you doing?
These ladies worked really hard, and they deserve every penny they need to get.
Yeah, and it's not a like, oh, I want money, more money. It's not a greed thing. It's, well, this is what you agreed to. This is what you told me that I would get.
Just hold your share of the bargain. We made you this movie, and you said you'd pay us, and now we're not getting our cut. So
exactly. So more to come on that, but yeah, a lot of people are not happy with Disney right now. And you know who else is not happy? LeBron James. LeBron James. Oh, man.
LeBron James.
Yes. So I read this article, and this is coming from, I guess, RT question more. This article is talking about how it cost $150 million to make the original. No, excuse me, not the original. It cost $150 million to make Space Jam 2. How much do you think it pulled opening weekend?
It's probably opening weekend probably made like 25-30 million.
Guess again.
Was it like 20? Was it like 20 million?
Guess again.
No.
Like 18.
13 million.
What?
13 million.
Then how much do you think?
What was that number again? How much did it cost?
150 million.
Wow.
Oh,
how much?
I'm sure.
What do you think it made from stream? Because it's on HBO Max. If you're a subscriber there.
I have no idea because I don't.
But
know
you don't
about
pay
HBO
extra.
No,
but
you
don't
don't.
pay extra for it.
You don't
It's
pay,
just
like,
part
the
of the
premium
streaming
access.
service. Yeah.
Right.
So wow.
Boy, they took a hit.
Wow.
Yeah,
Warner Brothers. Holy cow.
Yikes.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, did they really think that it was gonna be a big seller?
Right,
If
it's
it's
like,
150
Who asked
million?
for it? I don't think anybody asked for Space Jam 2.
Other than nostalgia people.
Right.
But I just don't think you would. I mean, I saw the movie. It's okay, not great, but
Right.
to see that they blew 150 million on that,
Oh,
wow.
boy.
well, and
Yikes.
here's what just adds salt to the wound. So King James, he's been quote allowed to bring his own bottle of tequila into the arena, being the NBA Finals, and it's like.
Yeah.
It's just, and there's a picture of it. I'm looking at a tweet here, and there's a picture. He's literally sitting at the NBA Finals with some tequila under his seat, and it is half empty, bro.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's just sad. And I read a quote earlier. I don't know where I read it, but he is also blaming it on systemic racism in the theater.
Whoa.
That is the quote.
Okay.
Systemic
Oh
racism
my
in the
gosh.
theater. Yeah, so it's
I don't
just
even
sad,
know what to say
man.
about that.
Okay.
But then I read somebody combat that with, okay, Space Jam, the original Space Jam is the #1 basketball movie of all time. Like highest grossing. You know who was in that? Michael Jordan. LeBron James, you are not Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Like, come on,
Ooh,
dude.
it's still just. Where's the market for it? Nobody wanted this.
It's not there.
Nobody wanted it.
They messed up Bugs Bunny's voice. The hack they got to do Bugs Bunny.
You know what? I'm thinking.
Instead of spending all that money on LeBron, you should have spent money on making Bugs Bunny sound like
two
Bugs
words.
Bunny.
2 words. Lola Bunny. She was
Yeah.
desexualized for this one. And
You're
people
saying if they sexualized Lola Bunny, that would have got butts in the seats?
Cha-ching! Cha-ching! Cha-ching!
I'm not gonna say anything about that.
I would definitely bet you that there would be more people there watching that
No,
film.
you're ridiculous.
No, I hands
Nobody
down
goes
think
to
so.
see a movie to see a sexy animated rabbit.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Let us know what you think in the comments. Who's right, Brian or Ileana? Would more people have
Oh my
their?
god, Lola Bunny is so fine. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what some people were
yeah.
thinking back in the 90s. They were like, Lola Bunny? All right, she's
There's-
going
look
on
at
my
that.
wall.
Look at that bunny midriff. Wow.
Lola Bunny's right next to Stacey Orico, Brian.
Ow! Oh no!
Oh,
Posters on your
jeez.
wall.
Wow.
That's a
Dang.
low blow.
Why
man.
is
Low blow.
Ileana being savage today? What the heck,
is.
man?
She really is.
I
Talking
didn't
about
even
me.
do anything, and now you're calling me out on Lola Bunny and Stacey Origo. You know I'm not over that yet. Oh.
It was her little mole, wasn't it?
Oh man.
Dang it! What the heck is up with this kid? Gosh.
Someone cut her mic. Someone cut her mic.
You
Quick.
gotta admit, that's funny. All right, what's the new information on Lightyear? I'm actually kind of interested.
Oh
I haven't
my
heard
God.
yet. I want to know.
I'm scared. All right, so, Chris Evans. This isn't new, but Chris Evans, if you don't know, is voicing Buzz Lightyear in the upcoming Pixar film Lightyear.
That's Thor, right?
What?
No, it's Cap America, bro.
Chris Evans. That's Captain America. Right.
I was
right.
gonna
Cap-
say, man,
Cap
like,
America,
get out,
bro.
get out. What even is this show
Wait, which
anymore?
which one is which one?
You're thinking
Thor?
Chris Hemsworth.
That's it. That's the one.
Yeah.
The other Chris.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so the film is slated to release in June of 2020. Let's see. Yeah, June 17th of 2022, excuse me. June 17th of 2022. And like we've been crossing our fingers, it is going to do a theatrical
Yes.
release. It's
Yay.
just in the theater.
Yes.
Oh,
Just in the theater.
That's the way to do it.
Oh.
A movie that big, I mean, yeah, you can't. You
Okay,
can't
but the
dim
other
it down.
ones that released were that big, so to speak. And
I feel like this is going to be an epic film. It's
is
going to
going
be
to
an
be
epic
epic.
one.
And you know how we've been talking for a long time, a few weeks at least, of how the art style of Pixar has been changing. I think after Turning Red comes out later this year, I think we're going to see a return to form, if not better. The early images of Buzz Lightyear look so good. Like, you've seen him as a toy, and he looks like a toy. He walks and acts like a toy. The latest image to come out, he looks like a human. He looks like Mr. Incredible. Like,
A what?
A
A human.
What did you?
A human.
Oh, I thought that was an accident. Okay, carry on.
No. He looks like a little human. Like, he looks like he and Mr. Incredible could be neighbors or something. Like, it looks really cool. So I have high hopes for that. But the good news is it's coming to theaters. Let's see. And this is a quote from Pete Docter. He's got high clout in Pixar. He says, "At first glance, you might think that this is a Toy Story film. Well, not so fast. See, back when we created the first Toy Story, we designed Buzz Lightyear with the idea that he was a toy based on some really cool character from an epic blockbuster film. Well, all these years later, we decided it's time to make that film. Epic blockbuster film. Like, let those words sink in. Those are strong words, and I am really excited to hear whatever comes out of that.
You know, that one's really interesting because I think when it was first announced, I don't remember if it was you or Brian who was kind of skeptical. So I'm glad that, I don't remember who it was, but now that you're on the train, because I was like, Lightyear movie, that's kind of cool. I'm looking forward to it.
I think it was me because I was like, dude, let it die, let it
Yeah,
die.
like the fifth
let
installment.
it shrivel up and die. But no, I'm really excited about it.
That's good.
I think it'll be really, really good.
I'm looking forward to it. Review in the future whenever that comes out. What was the release date again?
June 17th of 2022. Mark your
Oh.
calendars.
We still gotta wait a whole year pretty much, but review later. Bump That will still be alive by then.
Yay.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, this one is something that I think everybody saw coming. Nintendo Switch has sold over 89 million units, surpassing the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3.
Yeah, and correction, it's actually the PlayStation 4 that it has surpassed.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm looking it up now. the PlayStation 4. Oh no, you know what? Double correction. It is a PS3. But you know what? It's on its way. It's well on its way to outselling the PlayStation
sure.
4.
Yeah,
because
you're probably right. Yes.
The PlayStation 4, as of right now, I'm looking. The current number that it's holding is 114.9 million units sold. That's a PlayStation 4.
Wow.
The Nintendo Switch, after only 4 years of being out on the market, is at 89 million. Now, I take that with a grain of salt because they are also taking into account the Switch Lite. This is the entire Switch family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but really, that's the whole encompassing thing. And that number really is only going to grow when you have, take it however you want it, but that number is going to grow when you have the Switch OLED thrown in there.
Yeah.
Probably, I probably give it 3 years before it beats PlayStation 4. I think.
Oh,
3 years.
No,
I think way less than that.
You think so?
I think maybe a year and a half.
Even people have been predicting that it's going
35, to be 35 more million units.
And when they keep popping out games like this, they're not. They haven't slowed down at all. They're still popping out games.
Okay.
And once the new Breath of the Wild game comes out, they're gonna sell copies like this, and they have the Switch OLED.
People already have the Switch, so why would they buy another?
Because
keep growing.
So
I mean, you would buy the game. Why would you buy another Switch?
You wouldn't buy another Switch. It gets more people who hadn't have it before.
If you already have the console.
The Breath of the Wild first one didn't first start out on the Switch. So people who want to play the second game, that will be a Switch exclusive. So if you didn't have one then, bada bing, you got to get one.
Got it.
A lot of households have more than one Switch. For example, Animal Crossing New Horizons, you can only have one account on there.
Right.
And so, for me, even in Ileana too, when I want to play in my office, which I do all the time, I have first world problem. Oh, I have to unhook it. Oh my god, I have to unhook it and reattach everything from my living room into my office? Are you no? So yeah, people do that. They legitimately buy two docks. You can buy a dock without the Switch. You can do that. But a lot of people will buy multiple Switches to have in their house for multiple people. Like one upstairs,
even people buy they buy the Switch Lite for their kid. And they have the Switch for themselves.
Exactly.
And now they have the Switch OLED, so that's 3 consoles with Switch on it. So, and it's just going to keep going up in sales, and people are predicting that it's going to pass the numbers of the Wii. And I'm like, okay, let's see.
I thought it already passed the Wii.
No, the Wii is way up there.
Oh man, I'll need to double check that. But
Wii is at 100 million or something like that.
Oh, okay, that's cool. And then you have people like me, weird people like me that, will buy the Switch OLED. And even after that, if a Switch Pro, like a legitimate Switch Pro comes out, which that has not been ruled out yet, I think some people are saying, oh, now it's going to be pushed back, something like that. But there's still the idea that a Switch Pro could still come out with everything that everybody wants, 4K,
right,
60 FPS across the board, blah blah blah, things that really don't matter for a Nintendo. So that would and the price has not even gone down yet.
Right. So
for
they haven't even
as soon as
discounted
it
the
hits,
thing
yeah,
yet.
as soon as that thing hits like 250, people are gonna be all over it. I might. Like, who knows? I don't even know.
Do you happen to know what the 3DS did? What was the totals on that?
3DS did really well. Let me take a look at it.
While you look up that, the Wii has sold 101 million units.
That's the Nintendo 3DS has sold 75.94.
Oh, okay, so you already beat that. Okay.
Oh yeah, that smoked it.
Yeah.
So Switch is on its way for number 1 slot, but it's not there yet. But
not there yet. May I, like, just remind everyone, it's only been out for 4 years.
Yeah.
And there is still a whole slew of games that need to come out for it. Like, for it to be a legitimate, successful console for Nintendo, it needs to release a whole slew of games. It still needs a new Kirby game. We had a Kirby game that came out, but it was a little lackluster. Kirby Star Allies. And then it needs a brand new Donkey Kong game. I know I keep harping on Donkey Kong, but it really does, because the game that came out for the Switch was actually on the Wii U. So it needs a new Donkey Kong game. Star Fox, there's a lot of IPs. Metroid, thank goodness, is getting Metroid Dread. So, it needs to stop, Nintendo needs to stop neglecting their old IPs. And
Yeah, because once they get those numbers out, bada bing, they sell even more Switches and get those numbers way up.
Exactly.
So, to put it into more perspective, PlayStation 4 came out in 2016. Nintendo Switch came out in 2017. So hopefully, just by a year, Switch can up those numbers up even higher.
I'm thinking a year and a half. Give it a year and a half.
Let's see. We'll come back with our review of, what was the movie we talked about? Lightyear. We'll come back with our review of Lightyear and come back with those Switch sales in a year. So stay tuned. Next is, speaking of reviews, Jungle Cruise. Which one of you watched it? Was it Brian?
I watched it. Yeah,
How was it?
I watched it with the whole fam. Wow.
Is that a good
Dang,
wow?
Disney.
Yeah, is that a good wow or a bad wow?
No.
Oh.
I mean, I had a lot of hope. Listen, The Rock, the dude bleeds cool. The dude bleeds charisma.
Yeah.
You could watch The Rock literally do anything around the house, and it would be worth your while. Dude is so entertaining to watch. He's so cool. He's awesome. Emily Blunt is probably one of my favorite actresses now of all time. She is such a darling. She is so cool, so fun to watch. I love her. The two characters, the two leads, have such good chemistry. But unfortunately, the rest of Jungle Cruise is just like textbook, throw some CGI at it. I mean, it's trying to be Indiana Jones. It's trying to be like the old Mummy movies. It's trying to be Pirates of the Caribbean. It's trying to do all these things, hit all these broad numbers. But the film, the plotting, the editing is just bad. It's just not very good.
It looked like the later installments of Jumanji to me.
Yes, and that's the other one too.
Thinking.
Yeah,
I was thinking Zathura for some reason, but Jumanji was the one I really wanted.
No, it's and it plays a lot like The Rock's Jumanji movies. The Jumanji movies are honestly better. Yes.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So it was just okay, or
I'm giving it a C. It is just so much CGI, but you're not even allowed to at least take in all the CGI because it's edited so frenetically with so much it's just rushed that you can't just look at the jungle and try to just enjoy it for what it is. It's just so much. It's just
even I'll say this for someone.
It makes you want to throw up. It's just a CGI gush. It's yuck.
For someone who hasn't seen the movie yet, the way they advertised it was, what was it even about?
Well, it's based off of the classic Disney World ride, the Jungle Cruise.
Ooh, can I explain
which
it?
I feel like
okay,
I've been at Disney World 3, 4, 5 times.
Never heard of it. Never been on it.
Jungle Cruise
so
ride.
it's like for someone like me who's never heard of the ride, who's not really a Disney fan, like Disney park fan like that. Sure, I've been to the park a couple times. And it's all right. I have fun while I'm there, but I'm not dreaming about going back to Disney every day. So for someone who's just a casual fan like me, it's kind of I don't know what this is about. I don't really care. So for someone who Katie, who knows what it's about,
I know what it's about.
share.
All right, so the Jungle
No
Cruise...
one cares.
No, don't do that to her. I care. I don't even know what it's about. I literally have no clue.
So the Jungle Cruise, what it is, it's actually it's kind of funny that you talk about the CGI because what it is, you get on a boat that a Disney cast member is controlling. And it holds a good amount of people, maybe 15 people. And the whole premise of the ride is that you look at these animatronics in the water. It's a water ride. Obviously, you're on a boat. And you see these animatronics like elephants or rhinoceros or anacondas or, just big snakes. And meanwhile, the cast member is telling you extremely corny jokes the entire time. And think of really bad dad jokes.
Like my popsicle stick segment.
Yeah. And really bad puns. And so it's not an adventure at all. It's meant to be cheesy and kind of lighthearted. It's existed for decades.
That's it. Wait, nothing else changes on the ride.
It's one of the older Disney rides.
Yeah, it really
from way back when.
Whatever you just said, nothing else changes in the ride. It's literally just these are animatronics, these are my cheesy jokes the whole time.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's just not memorable. Like, everybody remembers, like, Splash Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain.
The thing about it is that it's also...
Space Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing about it is that it's placed at a weird place where you have to know where it is to find it.
Is it still there? You said it's not there anymore?
No. It is.
It is there. They've changed it up a little bit to at least take out. There were like natives, and they've taken those out because.
Yeah.
Is it in
Magic Kingdom?
Oh, it is.
It's in the Magic
I've
Kingdom.
literally never heard of it before in my life. Is it?
It's probably the ride that you take your
Orlando.
grandparents on when you go to Disney World with your grandma and grandpa. This is probably the ride that you take them on where they can just relax.
I've never heard of Jungle Cruise in my life except for this movie.
It's actually entertaining to ride on. And when, if you go to Orlando in the summer or when it's really hot, it's one of those things where it's good to, sit down and you get a nice little ride. So it's one of those. But I mean, the jokes, you do get a good chuckle out of them sometimes, and it's just amusing. Yeah, and it's just amusing. The animatronics are nothing special because it is aged pretty badly, but that's the ride. That's the Jungle Cruise.
All right, we're riding on escalators.
When do we get the ride? Yeah, when do we get to the ride? This is the ride! Yay!
Well, that's a little bit sad. I feel bad for anybody who really liked that ride and got a crappy movie, and especially for those who like, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Emily Blunt.
No, they're great. They're wonderful. I love them. I could watch them do anything. They are movie stars.
It's just a shame that the movie,
but the rest of the movie is just,
But to me, and this may be an unpopular opinion, The Rock really needs to. I feel like he does like the exact same character every movie that he's in. If he's in a khaki shirt, then he's on point. I mean, think about it. And
actually, if you want to see a better movie with The Rock in a jungle, The Rundown.
Oh, I love
came
The
out
Rundown.
Way early in his career.
Yeah.
Much better film.
I love The Rundown. It's
great action film. It's so good.
Yeah.
Watch that instead. Rent that.
I think he wears a khaki shirt there too.
He does, yes.
Him and his khaki shirts. All right. Well, now we are in the middle segment where we're going to fly past these. My animation segment today is on Netflix. I just watched Vivo. Lin-Manuel Miranda made the music for Vivo and also stars in...
Hey, watch out. Kitty doesn't like that kid.
A lot of people have a lot of issues with Lin-Manuel Miranda right now. I won't get into that one.
I love Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I very much appreciate his music and his skills. He is very skilled. And I will say this movie was darling. It was very cute to watch, animated wonderfully. It is a Sony Pictures animation film, and it is on Netflix. It's kid-friendly, so watch your kids. I will say it's a little too kid-friendly. I was kind of annoyed at some parts where there's this little girl in the movie that she is a little girl just being herself, and I'm like, all right, here comes a headache. But it was really a precious movie, and it kind of shocked me in the very beginning. It set it up in a way that I wasn't expecting. So go check out Vivo on Netflix. Very cute. Watch it with the family. There you go. KT, you have a new segment for
I
us.
do have a new segment. So, gang, last week I told you that I am taking a break from desserts because I had too much chunk in my trunk. And so, what I'm doing now is I'm offering a segment that is meant to help you. You can do this at home. You can do these exercises at home. I'm going to be giving you my one exercise of the week. And so today I'm going to I'm going to talk to you briefly about the humble wall sit. Do you guys know what a wall sit is?
Sure do.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so if you don't know what it is, you put your back against the wall and make your legs into a 90-degree angle and you hold it for an extended amount of time.
And you become a chair.
You become a chair.
Be the chair.
Be the chair. Now, you need to have it helps to put your body at your legs at a 90-degree angle for optimum blah blah blah. If you're shaking, that is a good sign. That means that you are working those thighs, thunder thighs. All right. So, it's simple but effective. So once again, that is the wall sit. You can YouTube people doing wall sits and yeah, eat local, work out also.
Yeah.
Work out also.
Because dang, those locals will fatten you up, man.
It's daggum true.
All right, Brian, what is your pick of the week for us? Streaming pick of the week.
Okay, so earlier this year, A Quiet Place 2 was released in theaters. It's one of the few films that did not bomb in the box office. It was an incredible film. Currently, the film was streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus, but if you do have an Amazon Prime account, you can rent A Quiet Place 2 for $5.99 on Amazon Prime. And let me tell you, it is worth it. Me and the wife, watched the film this past weekend. It is probably still, of all the movies I've seen, it's probably one of the best movies of the year. It is a non-stop thrill ride. Joanna would not be quiet. She was freaking out the entire movie.
Oh,
don't do that. Oh my God, don't go in there. Ah! All right. No, it is great. Directed by John Krasinski, Office fame. Just in the sequel to 2019's Quiet Place, featuring his wife, Emily Blunt, who I already gushed over. She's incredible. Lovely, lovely actress. I could watch her do anything, too. She's so talented. Just can do anything. But the film, if you haven't seen the first one, please watch Quiet Place 1. It is a top 10 film. It is such a great film. While the second one isn't near the emotional quality as the first, it is technically one of the better films you'll see all year. I'm telling you.
Nice.
It is wall-to-wall, intense, not a scary movie. It's not, I mean,
It's more thriller, isn't it?
It is a thriller. It is a nail-biter. It's just set up perfectly.
A heart pounding out of your chest.
It's a heart pounder. For $5.99, you won't get a better movie to watch. I'm telling you. Rent it, watch it, 13 up, because there's a few gruesome parts. But I mean, there's no language. There's no swear words in the movie. Check it out. I'm telling you. Please, if you want to watch a good movie, Quiet Place 1 and 2, watch it this weekend. You won't regret it.
I'm going to throw in there real quick before we get to the chunk. I just watched Pan's Labyrinth for the first time yesterday.
Great movie.
What?
First time ever.
Oh my
and it was
gosh.
so good.
How many tissues did you go through at the end?
Oh, I didn't cry.
Yeah,
What?
I don't know if I wouldn't cry at the movie.
No.
I didn't cry at all.
Oh man, are you kidding?
I think in my more adult years, I don't really get as emotional in movies as I did.
I was
man.
haunted. I was moved.
Yeah,
I was
moved.
terrified. Terrified.
That I was more like, yeah, get him. Hunter and I watched it, and I was just cheering Mercedes on the whole time.
Oh, what an
great
intense film, but one of the great ones of all time.
Great
Oh
film.
My goodness.
Like the whole subtitles thing did not get in the way of how great it was. And
yeah, don't be
I was
like that.
what?
Yeah, don't ever be like subtitles. I don't.
Yeah,
wanna
that's
film
some
with
cheese. Get
subtitles."
that out of there.
Yeah.
Because that's bump that. Bump
Oh,
that.
that
We
was
should
really
have like
good
a
film.
we should have like a beep, 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 whenever one of us says bump that. Yo, bump that. Beep, beep, beep.
Yeah.
No, I saw that. I first saw Pan's Labyrinth at like a college movie night at the Hogue Theater. Ileana knows what Hogue is. And man, I was just like
It was great.
in that theater. It was crazy.
Oh,
I saw it in theaters when it came out. I think in 2006.
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared for it. I just came in, watched it, and I was just like, you're just invested into this world of both brutality and fantasy.
Yeah.
Simultaneously.
That whole
And
thing
it's-
was so
it's just
interesting.
incredible.
Just the back and forth and the way it merged. It was very cool. The hand eyes guy. Woo!
Yeah.
Spooky.
Doug Jones.
That's become a pop culture reference.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that's way cool. Just wanted to throw that in there real quick before we continue on to the chunk. And here we are doing favorite print to film adaptations. So books that we read that became films that were like, dang, that's a good book, dang, that's a good film, or maybe not, but we're doing our favorites. So who wanted to go first?
Well, I want to sort of give out my shout out. So on Facebook, I posed the question to all of you, all of my dear friends. I said, the gnomes and writers over at Bump That would love your input. We want to know, what are some of your favorite TV or film adaptations from either books or comics? Basically, it just needs to be on paper first. So Amber says The Golden Compass. The movie the movie they made was actually really quite well done, minus the ending. And now they have the HBO series His Dark Materials that's also done really well. Eileen says, I love Crazy Rich Asians. Sense and Sensibility is also a great one. I think your mom might have sent us the VHS when we were younger. And The Count of Monte Cristo, so good. I will piggyback on that. I want to pick The Count of Monte Cristo. I love the book. Man, I was like seriously invested in that book. And then the movie, also super good. Hope says Teen Titans, the OG. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Leanne says, I enjoyed the Stardust movie so much I had to read the book. Both were fantastic. That happened with me for Hunger Games. Saw the movie first, then had to read the book.
Yeah.
Perry says Black Hawk Down, Lone Survivor, We Were Soldiers. Christinicia says The Great Gatsby, Pride and Prejudice, and The Little Princess. Katie says The Secret Garden, Little House on the Prairie.
Ooh, Secret Garden was a good one.
Yeah, I bawled my eyes out when I was reading that for the first time. The Secret Garden,
Yeah.
Little House on the Prairie. Once again, I was also, man, I'm just a crier. Like, I'm just sensitive. Like, when I was reading The Long Winter, once again, I was like, it's such a long winter. Oh, my God.
Oh my gosh.
But I love the show, too. Outlander. Let's see. Nadine says To Kill a Mockingbird, Where the Wild Things Are, and Romeo and Juliet. Yeah, I like Baz Luhrmann's version of Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio. That's really nice. That's a cool movie. All right, so
Thank you for your submissions on Katie's
Yes,
Facebook.
thank you.
Whenever
Yeah.
we post questions again and she posts them, please answer. It is awesome to hear from you guys.
oh, don't sound like we're begging though. Like, please,
Do it,
please answer.
please.
Oh.
For the love of, please.
For the love of Mike. All right, so here's how it works. I told these two to pick 2 honorable mentions and then 3 picks. So, you guys go first.
All right, Brian, you lay it down.
All right. I'm surprised that thankfully none of your little buddies there took one
Little
of mine.
buddies.
Yeah.
Like, these are like grown adults.
These
What
are
you
fan
talking
club
about?
What?
members.
You mean
Yeah.
lean?
What?
Leanne,
What are you talking? Oh my god.
you're
If
done.
It never gets old.
We just lost like all of our subscribe. They just all clicked off the video, and I don't blame them.
Okay. All right. Anyways, I'm glad that nobody took this one. It to me, it's one of the best versions of from the book to the screen, and it's Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban,
Yes, queen.
which is probably I'm gonna go. It's the best Harry Potter movie, and
I
it probably
agree.
is. The,
Oh boy,
it's
here
prob-
come the haters. How dare you say
Yeah.
that this
No,
one is
I
the
think
best?
unanimously it is the best Harry Potter movie. It's
I
and
agree,
it's
I agree
so close to the book. It's so close to the book. Doesn't change too much out of it. But it's just the book does such a good job of the time shifting and all that. And what's really cool about it is that in the movie, you know, Harry, Ron, and Hermione, the actors that portrayed them, Emma Watson, Daniel
Rupert.
Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, those guys really come into their own in the third movie. They assume those roles perfectly. Without a doubt, they are Harry, Ron, and Hermione. You know,
Yeah.
there's nobody like gonna take on those roles. Nobody can.
I think it's also come with age, probably.
You know, they've been acting in those roles for so long, and the direction by Alfonso Cuarón, off the screenplay by Steve Kloves. It's none of the other Harry Potter films got any close to just nailing the book. None of them did. And it's a great read and great movie.
I agree completely. Nothing more to say. I agree. What's your next pick?
Me? Should we switch? Should we go around to the next one? Let Ileana do it?
Ileana, what's your pick?
All right, my number one pick is the movie and book that scarred me when I was a child because I was in 4th grade and had to read this book out loud to my mother and say
Charlotte's Web?
no, I had to say
Oh.
a curse word, and that curse word was the A word. Oh
No, not
And
the A word.
The
Aardvark?
the movie and book is Holes.
Yay!
I love
Oh,
the movie Holes.
good one.
That's
That's
a
a
good
good one,
I
man.
read the book in 4th grade and had to read it out loud to my mother, you know, as you do with like reading log, whatever stuff. And the movie, I love that movie. Holes is so good. It's so quotable. I'm tired of digging holes, Grandpa. Well, that's too dang bad. It's so good. Sigourney Weaver and Shia LaBeouf and that whole movie and everybody else in the cast, so good. The boys that are on, you know, the Dr. Phil Ranch, that's what I'm
Yeah.
gonna call it.
Yeah.
They did such a good job, and that was like prime Disney Channel time when you see all these like, you know, kids from those shows that you grew up watching. And the book is very similar to the movie, pretty in sync with it both, and I just love both of them. The book is very enjoyable, the movie's enjoyable, it has a great message. So I would say my first pick is Holes.
That's a
I
good
like-
pick, kid.
I liked you better when you smoked. All right. So I'm actually gonna start with my least of the three. It's not, you know, it's last but not least. I don't know how to say that. It's anyway. Anyway, I'm gonna go with the Peanuts movie. You know, if you've known me for a long time, then you know that I love Peanuts, the comics. I grew up reading the comics. I would save them, and there was just something really.
You are a Peanuts character.
I know. I've got a round head like
You're
Charlie,
Charlie
Brown.
Brown.
Like I know it. And there was just something so enjoyable and endearing about every character, and I think everybody at some point has been. You know, you felt like a Charlie Brown, but at sometimes you feel like a Snoopy, where you're just, you know, really happy and on top of the world. And when it comes to the Peanuts movie, it is so pleasant and enjoyable. And they did the characters absolutely right. Every single character in Peanuts has their own personality. It may just be like a comic strip, you know, something that you just read in the newspaper. But every character has their own personality, and it really shines in this film. I love what they do with Snoopy and him typing on his typewriter on his doghouse, and the story with Fifi. What they do with Charlie Brown is so good, and he does come out the victor in the story. It was so good that when Wesley and I saw it in theaters, he actually started crying
Oh.
in the theater, and I said, "Really, you're crying at this?" And he's like, I understand Charlie Brown.
Dang, that's too bad.
Okay. I was like, okay. But yeah, my first pick is the Peanuts movie. A good, clean movie. Watch it with your family. We watch it every December. Wesley and I watch it every December. All right, Brian. Charlie Brian.
Okay. The next one is a definite change from Harry Potter. Just a complete 180, and that's The Godfather by directed by Francis Ford Coppola, and then it was written by Mario Puzo. I love the movie. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. It's one of the greatest movies ever made. I saw the film many, many times before I ever read the book. And it's a lot more rated R than the movie is. I mean,
Oh my
it's,
Oh
goodness,
gosh.
oh my god.
How much more rated R can you get?
Oh, jeez.
All right, well, don't say it on-
NC-17 rated R. Oh my goodness.
This is relevant and irrelevant. One of my favorite references to The Godfather is in the Rugrats movie in the very beginning when
Yes.
Phil and Lil are
Yes.
like, Bob Father, we found
Yes.
this in our toy box, and it's the head off of their rocking horse.
Nice.
Bob Father.
Bob Father?
Well, in the book, there's just a lot more adult situations.
Oh.
A lot of adult situations. So if they threw that into the movie, it would have got made. Maybe
Yeah.
in Europe or something. But it's just a good. You can see though how these guys took this. It was a big seller back in the '60s when the book was first released. It was a huge seller. Then they're like, we got to make this thing. It's gonna be a huge movie, and all these movie stars, big classic movie stars, wanted to get into The Godfather to make it. But I mean, then you see that's the height of Marlon Brando and the beginnings of Al Pacino and John Cazale, James Caan, all these guys that went on to have huge careers. So yeah, I mean, I can't really recommend the book unless you really like a hardcore, violent adult situation book with lots of swears and lots of adult situations. But if you love movies, you have to watch The Godfather at least once in your lifetime. So.
What is going on
Yeah.
with first the ESPN, and then now we got a
Man,
ding.
sometimes life calls.
Oh my goodness!
And that was
Ileana,
life.
Go on.
Yeah,
go on.
Ileana was telling me to hurry up. So
No, I'm not. I'm just letting everybody know how much time we have.
What? Oh, well, we'll go.
So
on
hurry the
already
heck
then.
up.
I know.
Okay,
dang.
Dang. All right, everybody's in their feelings tonight.
Oh my god.
All right. The next one for me would be The Hunger Games. We had to pick books and movies that we've read, and I have not read that many books in my life, but I have seen
I didn't
a
know
lot
you
of
could
movies.
read.
People are still astounded that I can't read. But The Hunger Games, and then I'm talking about the first Hunger Games book and movie. While a lot of people did not seem to care about the adaptation, they're like, oh, this is so far from what the book said, blah, blah, blah. The movie, destroyed it. I watched the movie first and went back and read the book. And I don't care too much when movies go astray from the original source material. I feel like it's, director's choice. They have this book. They're going to pick and choose what they want and direct it and make choices on how they want. And I think both are fine.
Yes.
The movie is great. I think the characters are awesome. And the way that they set it up in this futuristic world, Pan Am, whatever, super cool. I love how insane the outfits are and the characters, how moody they are and the situation that they're going through. While in the book it may not have been exactly that same way, it's okay. It didn't have to be the same. You can change aspects of it. And I think that's why that one's one of my favorites, is because the director and everybody else behind the film said, we're going to pick and choose what we want from the book. It doesn't have to be exact. You already read the book. So if you want it to be the book, go read the book. This is our movie now. So there's that. I'm going to say The Hunger Games.
Oh, man.
Good pick.
Yeah, man. All right, so I'm moving from whimsy to the world of fantasy. Now, I love fantasy. It would be so easy for me to go ahead and just throw Lord of the Rings in here. I've read Lord of the Rings several times. But, I know we kick that horse all the time. So I'm going to go with the Chronicles of Narnia.
Ooh!
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Good pick.
Yes,
pick.
I've read all the Narnia books. I love them. I love them. I think about The Magician's Nephew all the time.
Love
And
that one. That's
yeah,
probably my favorite book. Yeah.
Really?
Yes, I love it. I think about it all the time. And I think I heard at some point that they're trying to make that into some sort of film or, some sort of thing. Which I'd be interested to see how that turns out. But I'm going to talk about just The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. It's obviously an allegory to Jesus, and on this channel we love Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And so that really
Yes.
that really resonated with me. Reading the book and just. I also really like World War II, and this book takes place during World War II, and these four kids, they get taken to out of London. They're going to the country to go to a safer place during the London bombings, and so they're there and they find a magical realm, and from there they get to escape and they get to have adventures and they get like animal friends. That gum.
It's not even like they get to be children in this new realm. They really don't. They're in the middle of a war.
Yeah, it's a war. They get thrown into things, and then all of a sudden, they're there as children. They go in as children, but they come back as princes and princesses.
Spoilers!
Oh, come on. This was like the 1930s. Give me a break.
And the film came out in like 2005, so
Yeah,
come on.
something like that.
Hey, my kids haven't seen it.
Come off it. Well, then make them watch it before they listen to this
what are you
episode.
waiting for? What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting for you to
anyway.
hurry up.
Oh my
Oh,
lordy,
you're done.
hello.
You're done.
Just for that, I'm gonna go. So let's talk about Mr. Tumnus.
Oh,
Let's do an analysis.
The fun.
Let's
James
listen.
McAvoy.
Yeah. No. Let's do an analysis on Mr. Beaver.
Yes.
Just kidding. No, just kidding. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. If you have not read the book, go read the books. Go read all of the Chronicles of Narnia.
Voyage of the Dawn Treader, one of my favorites.
Yes. The Silver Chair, the Horse and his boy. They're all great. All great. There's a reason why they have stood up the test of time.
Go
so.
C.S. Lewis, one of the greatest writers ever.
Woo!
Ever.
All right, last pick. Before we say our last pick, without any description of why you like it, just say your two honorable mentions.
I'm gonna go with How the Grinch Stole Christmas and Christmas Carol.
Oh, Christmas
Wonderful.
themes. All right. Mine is The Help and Lord of the Rings.
Wonderful. Mine. What were mine? Mine are Pride and Prejudice and Rizzolian Isles.
Awesome. All right, and that gets us to our last one. Last pick, Brian.
Last pick.
All right, so this one I first saw the movie, and then I loved the movie so much that for Christmas I actually got it as a gift, and it was the book and the movie together. So it was a really cool package deal. And then I read the book, and I've read it like all the time because it's just in depth, and it's Seabiscuit.
Oh man. I remember when you got that book, man. You were just eating it up.
I remember when
And
we saw the
it's-
movie, and
it's-
we were all eating it up.
It's fascinating because the world of back in the day, almost 100 years ago, the most popular sports were baseball, boxing, and horse racing. Now that's all changed. But horse racing back then was what everybody loved, was interested in. And the
The
world
Derby.
of the world of horse racing, it's literally a whole world. There's so much detail involved in it in history. And then just the movie about these three men in the height of the Great Depression, where they find this, loser horse, and they train it up to be just one of the great champions of all time.
That one's
Seabiscuit
Tobey Maguire,
is
right?
Yeah.
Tobes Maguire,
Tobes
Chris
Maguire.
Chris Cooper, and Jeff
Bridges.
Jeff Bridges. Thank you so much.
Is their title gonna be Tobey Maguire is Seabiscuit?
Such a good movie. I remember we watched the movie in theaters, and oh my god, we actually stood up and cheered.
I tell
we
that
stood
story.
up and
Listen,
cheered.
I tell
man. It
that
was
story
so
all
lame.
the time.
I
tell that
remember.
story. Brian, were you there?
I was.
I don't remember you being
We
there.
had just moved to Georgia when we saw that movie.
No,
I don't remember-
incorrect,
Yeah, we did.
incorrect. No,
No.
Seabiscuit
No.
came out in 2003, kid. You're
Yeah,
thinking of
we
War
were
of the
idiots.
Worlds or something. Yeah.
No, I remember that. I think it was just me and Brian. I don't know what you're
It
talking
was
about.
just
What?
it was the
Yeah,
movie's
you weren't there, man.
PG-13. It had adult situations. It had language. It had violence. There's no
Yeah,
way.
no,
mom
Maybe
would
there's
let you see
another
it.
horse movie that we
Yeah,
saw.
maybe. I don't know. But what happened was Brian and I were the youngest people in that theater.
Oh
and
yes,
that movie was so gripping. Like, you were just sucked into it, and you were like, we in the theater, the people in the theater were yelling at the screen, "Come on, you can do it! Go,
Yeah,
go!"
like Babe Ruth just broke the home run record live
Yeah,
in front
and
of
it's
us or
like,
something, and we're
we're-
like, yes.
we're watching a film about something that's already happened, and yet we're like, go, you son of a
The stakes were high in that moment.
They were. The emotion was just so palpable. It
Directed
was,
by Gary Ross, it was just tangible. It made you
Yes.
feel like you were a part of history. It was really good.
It was so
great.
wonderful. So yeah, and I remember when you got the book, you were talking about it for so long. You're like, dude, can you believe like this was happening and this was left out, but it was so crazy. Yeah, you were
So
like,
excited.
yeah, I mean, really, for weeks. And so I was like, oh, I want to read the book. No. I'm reading it. All right. That's a great choice. Great choice. Ileana, what is your final... I'm still not convinced that you can read, by the way.
Well, I can, and I will prove it with some. I almost said Charles Darwin.
Whoa! Can you read?
Charles Dickens, Pride and Prejudice.
What?
Wait a minute.
What
he
is
didn't,
wrong with you?
He didn't write Pride and Prejudice.
thought
What
he
is?
did.
No.
No.
Oh my god. You have ruined this show now. This
Guys,
show
I'm
is
still not
over.
convinced. I'm still not convinced she can read.
So it was Charles.
Talking about I've
It
ruined
was
the
Charles
show.
Darwin, right?
It was
No!
I'm kidding.
Jane
I know.
Austen, you
That's who
fool.
it is. I was kidding with Charles Darwin, but I thought Charles Dickens wrote it. Whoops. Wow.
Oh my
I've shamed
gosh.
everyone.
Oh man, you're so
But-
beat red.
The show is over. It is ended.
I did get red. That's funny.
The
But
final
no,
episode of the.
we're gonna
Bump
quit
That.
bump that. So much for coming back in a year
Yeah,
from now.
we're not gonna be reviewing light.
Yeah, so much for coming back in a year. Oh, bump that.
Bump that.
That's funny. Wow.
Oh man.
Pride
so
and Prejudice.
Talk to us about Pride and Prejudice.
The book I have read. I obviously just did not see the author's name. I literally thought it was Charles Dickens. My bad. But so the book is great. It's long. Whoa. And the movie is long. Whoa. But both are amazing. And I don't really like those types of pieces of literature. Very wordy, very I don't know, emotional. I feel more attached to more what would you say? like sci-fi, horror, thriller type of books I find more engaging. The other types of books I would say are more boring, kind of laid back, I'm going to fall asleep in 5 minutes type of books. But this one was captivating because I had, once again, watched the movie first, knew what was going to happen, decided to read the book, and I was still captivated. So I would say, I like both of them. Both adaptations are just great. I'm going to stop talking because Brian's looking at me like I'm dumb.
Oh my
I just don't know what to say right now. Like,
okay, just keep
Yikes.
hammering it in, my friends. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I'll stop. All right.
Everybody tonight has failed one way or another. Just want you to know.
It's okay. All right. So moving on to my final pick. This is my favorite book of all time. I love children's books. As you can tell, I love children's books. I think there's something imaginative and you can be silly, and you just don't get to experience that so much with more adult books because, they're for adults and adults can't have fun, allegedly. But my favorite book, my favorite author, Roald Dahl, I can never pronounce his name. I think it's Roald Dahl. He wrote my favorite book, Matilda. And I love the film. The movie is so good. It's so good, guys. Now, there are obviously differences in the book. In fact, the ending is very different. Spoilers if you haven't read Matilda or watched the movie. So she has these powers where she can move things with her mind.
Telekinesis. Thank you.
Okay. And in the oh my god, Ileana looks like she's about to punch someone.
I'm just sitting here.
Because you're like taking forever. We're supposed to wrap this sucker
my
up,
Lord.
man.
All right, so Matilda can move things with her mind. Well, in the book,
Telekinesis.
she loses her powers. She's not able to do them because her job is fulfilled. Like, her purpose for having those powers is fulfilled. But in the movie, she keeps those powers, man. She's just able to, like, move things left and right. But I love it. The movie is hilarious. In fact, the book is hilarious as well. When we were kids, our mom would read it to us, and I would just keep checking it out of the library every chance I got. I would just, I'd probably get another book, maybe like James and the Giant Peach, and then go back to Matilda, and it's just so good. Hilarious, very endearing. In fact, there's a line from the movie that said, when it comes to books, it made Matilda feel like she wasn't alone. And I don't know, maybe that resonated with me. But yeah, Matilda. Oh my gosh, you need to calm down over there. So those are our picks of print to film adaptations. Ileana, are you gonna close this out?
Should I?
You should, man.
All right.
Whoa. Get out of your feelings.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening to this week's train wreck of an episode.
Don't be like that.
Nah, it wasn't so bad. We can all laugh at ourselves. We're fine. So thank you so much for listening. Next week, if you guys tune in, we're going to be doing a 2-part episode. We are doing top 30 Nick TV shows. Nickelodeon, if you've ever,
Nickelodeon.
the network with the kids' cartoons. Yes.
Nick Jr., Nick at Night, Teen Nick, Snick. We're taking the top 30 best shows, animated, live action, doesn't matter. We're all going to pick our top 10. Each of us are going to give our top 10
tier
draft.
list. Yes.
Yep.
So that'll be next week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. If you liked this week's episode, if we made you laugh, if we made you cry, please drop a like or a dislike. Leave a leave a comment and ring the notification bell. Also subscribe if you have not. We are also on YouTube and Spotify now.
Hey,
so
wait.
you can listen to
What's
us
our
both
subscribers
places.
at? Did we get to 40 yet?
Oh snap. I don't know
Check
actually.
really quick. I don't think so, but
I don't think so either.
reminder. Oh yeah, reminder. If we get to 40, a stunt will happen live on this show.
Yes, 2 2 more subscribers, and Brian will do something interesting, and you won't want to miss it. So please tell your friends, tell your family, subscribe to Bump That, and we'll see you guys in next week's episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.